Hey, what is up you guys? This is Nacho here and welcome back to another Call of Duty World War II video. Now in today's video we're going to be taking a look at 3 things I miss about Infinite Warfare. So it's roughly been around a month and a half that the new Call of Duty game has been out. Of course I'm talking about Call of Duty World War II, and I still have some mixed feelings about it. As I'm making this video, I'm already Prestige Master. I've made it over or past level 100 already, so I'm in the triple digits, and I've been no-lifing that game pretty much just like any other Call of Duty game that comes out. And I thought now would be a really good time, now that the new year has started, to pretty much bring it back to some Infinite Warfare, the grassroots. This is probably my favorite Call of Duty game of all time, and I wanted to talk about 3 things that I miss about Infinite Warfare that I wish other Call of Duties would implement, or even World War II would implement. So let's get right into it. Now the first thing that I miss about Infinite Warfare, and this is without a doubt probably the most important thing to me, is the load times. In Call of Duty World War II, it seems to take forever to bounce around from lobby or from menu screen to menu screen. It just feels like it takes ages to load into something. One thing that I think Infinite Warfare got right is load times. You pretty much load up the game, whether you had the digital or the disc version, and within probably a minute or within a couple of seconds, I would even say, at least that's how it was for me on Xbox, I would already be in the multiplayer menu ready to search for a team deathmatch. Now with World War II and other Call of Duties, you always have to go through a couple of hoops when you first load up the game. You have to go into like a multiplayer screen, then you have to actually load into the multiplayer, play online, then you can search for a lobby. But it normally takes you around 2 to 3 steps of connecting to different servers, or the game trying to connect to the online matchmaking for you to be able to find a game. With Infinite Warfare, all of that seemed to be done right when you got to the menu screen. As soon as you would push start, it would do all that. So whether you want to go into some zombies, whether you want to go into some multiplayer, it was already there, fine and dandy for you, man. That's one thing that I miss, man. Also, another thing, this goes with the load times, is if you guys have noticed, whenever you load into an actual match, you know how it gives you the preview for the map selection or the map that you're going to be playing. In World War II and other Call of Duties like Black Ops 3 and older ones, it seems like it takes forever from that screen of where you see the map to actually choose a custom class and actually start the game. With Infinite Warfare, it was literally almost instantaneously. You would load into the map and you would already have a custom class. I think the way Infinite Warfare did it is they probably like preloaded a bunch of the stuff right at the start, so like as soon as you would like hit multiplayer, it already preloaded pretty much everything that you would need to do. Or even while you were in the pre-game lobby, like an intermission waiting for the next game to start, they probably started preloading the map that was picked in the rotation, and that's probably why their load times were so good. Let me know what you guys think, man. I personally think Infinite Warfare is probably one of the zippiest, I guess that's the right word, zippiest, like one of the fastest Call of Duties to play and one of the fastest Call of Duties to load into, man. I definitely miss how smooth and how easy it was to go from one menu to another menu screen in Infinite Warfare. Now the second thing I miss a lot about Infinite Warfare, and this one is definitely going to be a little bit controversial to a lot of people, but it's stat changing weapon variants. So we all know in Infinite Warfare, and even more so in Advanced Warfare, you could unlock weapon variants that would quote unquote pretty much change the way some guns worked altogether. You know, some variants, for example, is like, let's say you could have a faster fire rate with having more recoil, or you could have less recoil with like a slower fire rate. Like there was always like a win and a lose to the gun for most situations, unless you got to the better variants, which were pretty much like the epics and stuff that would just do crazy things, man. I personally miss having variants that completely changed weapons, because it made the game a lot more fun, and it actually motivated someone like myself to want to grind and unlock the better weapons. You know, in World War II, yeah, there are weapon variants and you can get them through supply drops, but I don't really feel motivated or any incentive to go for any of the weapons. Like, yeah, whoop-de-doo, I might get an epic variant or a heroic variant that has like a better iron sight than the base gun that I already have unlocked, but it doesn't really matter if the only thing that you get is the iron sight and a 10% or 15% XP bonus for having the gun. It really doesn't motivate me to, you know, want to kind of play the game. And I find myself kind of playing Call of Duty World War II less and less every single day or every single week. I think a lot of people are already getting burnt out, because it's kind of like Destiny 2, where it's like you're playing, but in reality you're not really playing for anything. You know, you can unlock an epic, you can unlock a heroic, but nobody's really gonna know in the lobby because the guns weapons don't really do anything special. It's not like anybody's going around and be like, whoa bro, have you tried the PPSH Thrive, or have you tried this weapon, have you tried that, bro? Like, nobody is doing that in Call of Duty World War II, because all of the weapons are pretty much the same. You know, in Infinite Warfare, everybody was always asking, oh man, should I go for the K-Bar Invective? Should I get the MV4 Fallout or the Bunker Buster? Oh man, should I unlock the Mauler Mammoth? You know, what epic variant should I get? What variant should I grind for? What should I use my salvage on? And that's one thing that I think World War II missed out on, man. I think the stat changing variants, while yes, they can be controversial because yeah, they do end up creating overpowered weapons at some point down the line, but I think it makes the game a lot more fun because one, it gives everybody incentive to want to grind to certain variants. You know, for me in Infinite Warfare, I played the crap out of that game because I literally wanted to unlock every single weapon in the Quartermaster collection, and as of when I'm making this video, or even when I finished playing Infinite Warfare this last November, I think I pretty much owned at least 99% of the weapons in the game, and through my armory collection and everything else, meaning, you know, emblems, accessories, calling cards, I probably at least own 90 to 95% of all that as well. So I'm like a huge completionist when it comes to Call of Duty, and you know, World War II is just one of those things that it really makes me feel lackluster. Like, I don't really care if I get an epic variant, I don't really give a shit if I get a heroic variant. Like, there's no wow factor to any of the guns, and I think that's why Call of Duty World War II, a lot of people are already starting to get really bored of it, like myself. Let me know what you guys think about stat changing weapon variants. Like, how do you think that would play out in World War II? How cool would it be if there was like an epic PPSH variant where you automatically got like rapid fire and like, I don't know, a grip, you know, just stuff like that. Like, I know that sounds stupid overpowered, but think about it, you know, once you unlock that weapon yourself, you know, how happy are you gonna be when you're gonna be going up against noobs and you have this like super strong weapon variant that other people don't have? You know, I just miss having that feeling going into lobbies knowing that I had pretty much better variants than most people, and they wouldn't be an issue for me. That just seems to be lacking in this Call of Duty, or I mean Call of Duty World War II. And last but not least, the last thing I miss about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and this one is a big one, man. So you guys know how in Call of Duty, one of the worst feelings in the world is when you search for a team deathmatch, you search for a search and destroy, whatever your cup of tea is, whatever game mode you like to play. The worst feeling in the world is when you search for a lobby and you instantly get put into a map and you just have that sinking feeling in your stomach where you're like, wow, I'm probably gonna join a team deathmatch or a domination where we're getting triple capped, and it's gonna be like two people against like a 6-man. Yeah, sounds like fun, right? Now, one thing Infinite Warfare got right, and this is the only Call of Duty in the history that has done this, is whenever you would search, even if I was playing solo, if you searched for a team deathmatch, every single time you played a game, no matter what, you would always be put into the lobby screen before the match would load in. This was such a huge thing for me, especially since I was such a tryhard and I would always try a lobby shot for my high KD. You guys know me. You know, I loved having the ability, like, let's say you loaded into precinct, like you search for a team deathmatch and you load into a lobby, TDM on precinct. You know, once you check the players in the lobby and if you saw all their stats were 0, you already would know that the game has already started in progress, and from there you could decide, am I gonna stay in this match, because it would roughly give you around, probably I would say 10 to 20 seconds before I would let you load in. You could either stay in the lobby, load into the map as usual, or you could back out and search for another lobby. This is such a big feature, and I don't know why Call of Duty World War II doesn't implement it, or why other Call of Duties don't just steal this one from Infinity Ward. I don't know how the studios work under Activision. Maybe they all have like their own little patents and secrets that they keep to their own little game companies, but I think this is such a big feature, and I think this would be one of the best things for Call of Duty. Of course, it also helps create a problem where whenever you pretty much own a lobby, let's say you're playing with a couple of your buddies and you're pretty much just tearing it up in TDM and the enemy team just rage quits, it can be annoying when you're only searching for one person, because at that point when people try to search for a lobby, they already see that it's pretty much empty, so they just back out before they even load in, and that can be controversial about it. But honestly, I think the feature is more win than lose, and let me know what you guys think about it. I hope I was able to describe it well enough, but let me know what you guys think about the 3 things that I missed about Infinite Warfare, man. If you guys want to see more Infinite Warfare videos, be sure to let me know in the comment section below so I can still make some content on that. I don't know how you guys feel, because you know, it is kind of an older Call of Duty, but World War II just really isn't like doing it for me this year, guys. World War II is just so bland already, and I don't really feel motivated to play, to be completely honest. Like, Like, how do you guys feel about Call of Duty World War II, and how do you guys feel about the 3 things I miss about Infinite Warfare? I know I'm kind of rambling, but let me know in the comments section below what you guys miss about Infinite Warfare, or if you agree or disagree with any of my points. For me, one of the biggest things is just that lobby screen before you get thrown into the game, man. The worst feeling, like I said, is being put into a team deathmatch when it's 2v6 and it's like 70 to like 20, bro. It's like, all right, man, we're not gonna come back. Why would I even get put into this lobby, you know? But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, my name is Papa Nacho. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Nacho Nation.